What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video. Give it a minute, get you all in here. Don't worry, it shouldn't bore too bad. It shouldn't bore like that. It's because I'm in my car, and to be honest with you, on this channel, I honestly don't even go back, as you all probably know, and watch like past videos. So it is what it is. Let you all get in here. I know I always say it's not gonna be long, and then it turns out to be like long. So we'll just see where it goes. Right. Sup? Sup, Jim Rat? Also, I appreciate y'all emailing me all that you did. You know, some of y'all got to get back with a response. So yeah. So anyway, for those of y'all don't know, it looks like they're reporting that Joe Biden will be at least president-elect. It looks like also that Donald Trump is definitely starting to do, some of the legal proceedings, which is a reaction that I expected from Trump. Um, so it is what it is. Like I said before, first of all, they're even saying that some of these elections are so close that the states are automatically doing recount. So he doesn't even need to sue. I believe it's Arizona, and I believe it's Arizona, Nevada, Georgia. I know it's Georgia and Arizona, and Nevada might be on the table too. So he doesn't even need to sue them to do that. And I think recounts will be good, because one thing I don't want is a disputed election. But to be honest with you, the way the country is and the way people are, it really doesn't matter. I did, even though I thought it was going to be close, I really wouldn't have preferred it would be close, because yeah, it is what it is. You might as well keep Trump in there if it's going to be the same Trump America, to be honest with you. But so anyway, but that's not what this video is about. That's just kind of setting the table. This video is about perspective. So I want to say this first. Yeah, I'm going to challenge any opinion I disagree with. That just is what it is. People just have to deal with it. But what I will say is that people have a right to have their opinions. The election is still ongoing. I don't even consider it over. And a lot of people voted. Part of that was because of coronavirus, and a lot of people didn't have nothing to do. But people have a right to their feelings. People have a right to their thoughts, whatever it says. I'm not going to say, even if it's cracked out, I'm not going to say that. And people have a right to, if they want to believe the election was stolen, they have a right to believe that. They have a right to say that. They have a right to believe that. And I'm not, discounting their right to believe that. I just think people are way too emotionally. I'm going to keep it 100. This is not a time for emotions. And I say that, and let me be very clear here. I follow a lot of black-centric Instagram hashtags because it gets me into a black person. It's like a way that I engage with black people as far as the target market. And I got to tell you, sometimes it gets on my motherfucking nerves. Because I want people to understand, it's not like, oh, well, you're going after just people with conservative. Oh, my God. Some of this shit that I hear people say this on the Just Vote or pro Biden shit, and you see it really express itself with Ice Cube. I even had somebody under my Facebook feed. I put something on Facebook which pretty much said, if you basically thought Ice Cube played himself, but you're giddy that Joe Biden won or is winning, and this was before it was official, I said, congratulations, you have a low IQ. And then I had this one dude that said, he literally responded by saying, no, Ice Cube has a low IQ because Ice Cube talked to the president rather than talking to Nancy Pelosi or Mitch McConnell because they're the ones that create legislation. I'm like, this is clearly somebody that doesn't understand like how to get things done. And there's a reason why people go to the president, because the president can basically galvanize the nation, compel Congress. But you know what? I'm not arguing. I'm telling you right now, with there's people on the left and the right, I'm not arguing with a lot of y'all about shit no more. Like for real. I'm not. If I think you're in your emotions, I'm just gonna let you be in your emotions. Shout out to LAR Movement. I had a really good conversation with LAR, and LAR is a very sensible guy, and he's got a lot more weight in this space than I do, and he should. And I mean, he understood exactly where the fuck I was coming from. And the thing about it is, he's had conversation with people, and again, it very much annoys me how giddy black people are about Biden. Like it does annoy me, because the reality of the situation is Biden hasn't. And I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be fun in the next 4 years, observing black people create a sense of disbelief, because they're gonna do the same shit they did under Obama, in my opinion. They're just gonna tell themselves. They're going to tell, like, Democrats going to play it's okay card. I'm still not going to do shit for you, but it's okay. Whenever somebody gets shot, whether it's black male, black female. And it's a pattern at this point. Black people, wild out. Because I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to be very clear. The Biden is not going to let y'all motherfuckers riot like that. Like Trump, like it was, that's not going to happen. Y'all niggas are not going to be able to riot and loot and really express yourselves like you all thought y'all been able to do before. That shit, you're going to be interested how that shit's going to change. But it's just observing. And look, I understand that, you got an 80%, 20% thing. But just observing the pattern again after these conversations have been had. I'm not talking about people that are in these conversations. I'm talking about the general population of black people. And it's not even just on the, like, people that want to be giddy for Democrats. They're just comfortable. They're comfortable with nothing getting done. And this is why I have kind of a zero-sum mentality when I say 60% or 80% of people are not going to make it. And it's like, I'm going to do me and I'm going to be good. But when people come in here talking about what people should do for the community, and you need to help these boys, you need to help these kids, and then they get upset when people are like, fuck them kids, or when Ramil was on some pump and dump, or when somebody's saying, you know what, yes, I'm going to use a single mother as a cum receptacle, but fuck the kid she got, because that's not my problem. Why dudes have that mentality? It's not about anger. It's because you're not going to get me to waste time and energy investing in something that people don't want to change. This has nothing to do with Trump. I don't give a fuck. I told you all once and I told you all again. Once Amy Barrett got in there, the Supreme Court is way more important than the presidency. What Trump has done is already been done. And Biden is not going to reverse that. The population that Biden has to deal with is a very different population than what Trump came to have when he got elected. A lot of America was afraid of Trump. And so it wasn't really, they were really docile when it came to stuff that he was doing. Motherfuckers are not afraid of Biden. So whether it's online or offline, whether it's black or not black, motherfuckers are going to be, they going to be in his, like, look, I don't give a fuck about Fox News. They're going to be in his ass. And the more that, like, the regular media tries to cover that shit up, the more they're gonna fuck with their own credibility. Because at the end of the day, you're dealing with a situation where people are really hurting. The economy is fucked up. And this is not just lower grade people. These are also people that's got businesses. People are not gonna have time for motherfuckers to try to put candy cake, cookie cakes, and rainbows on some shit because they seem to be cool with who's in there. You'll start to very much see people go and get, you hear Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, talk about the new black media. You will very much go see people start to go get alternative media sources if they feel like CNN and particularly MSNBC are being rainbow and candy cakes about it. People are not going to want to hear that. 55% of white women voted for Donald Trump. So People, hell, even the Democrats didn't even get the normal black women to 95%, that they lost that by 4 points. People are not giving a shit about Kamala. I'm gonna tell you something. Kamala might bear a big brunt of a lot of stuff because they're not going to keep on being able to park her in the closet. She's going to have to actually be out there and doing some leadership. People don't give a fuck about foreign affairs, so whoever they pick for that right now, it's not the issue. The issue is what's going on internally in the country. So it's gonna be interesting. And another thing, like I said, the courts are still a lot more conservative. So if women, and we'll see. It looks like that McConnell is going to McConnell is they're gonna wait till January to see who got control of the Senate. So if McConnell maintains control as far as legislation, like a lot of Me Too shit, a lot of crazy women shit, yeah, they'll be able to do some things as far as executive orders, but that's not gonna mean shit. Because the truth is, it's going to be seen as you're prioritizing something that's already being extraordinary prioritized. And my biggest point, that's all set in the table. My biggest point to this is perspective. Number one, the environment does not change because Biden's in the White House. I said this before. I've been saying this. And I've been telling people on both sides, because one person had to lose, stop having this overinflated view as to how much support Trump has, and stop having this overinflated view. It was gonna be close. And stop having this overinflated view as to how many people hate Trump. Because this is an extremely, regardless how it turns out, this is an extremely close election. Biden does not have a mandate. And I heard this, it was this headline on this article, and this shit is damn true. They say Biden's winning, so we're going to go and say he's the winner. Biden may have won, but understand that he's governing Trump's America. And like I said before, Trump's America does not give a fuck. Trump's America is rowdy, even when you look at black people and black men, which is a positive thing. And even if you take people that are sensible, because I'm with Ice Cube, all these motherfuckers are the same. That's how I see it. I don't get the lights up, y'all. I don't have this, one side's better than the other. Oh, well, what about your business? No, nigga, you're not going to, 7 circles, you're not, and I like 7 circles, but you're not going to play the evangelism shit. No, we're not doing that. All these motherfuckers are the same. Period. Let's stop it. Let's stop the bullshit. Taxes do not go skyrocketing crazy. Let's keep it all the way 100 about taxes. If you look at taxation over the last 10 years or 15 or 20 years, over the last 2 presidents, people forget, John Boehner and Obama and them, they secured I won't say devastating, but very hard-cutting tax cuts and curtailing government spending. They only started to increase that, not for the departments, but for to stimulate the economy. This is why a lot of crazy stuff started to happen as far as stuff breaking and stuff like that. Because or when FEMA needed to have help, it wasn't the stuff that was there like that because of those cuts. If you look at taxes over the last 20 years, that is not to mention Citizens United in 2005 with corporations. That shit has been overwhelmingly cut overall. So when people talk, even if Biden were to raise taxes, it's still, number one, most of you niggas don't make over $400,000 a year. Okay. Number two, for him to raise taxes, that has to be passed in the legislature too. And McConnell's not passing that shit. He don't give a fuck. He'll more likely let Democrats spend than he passes tax cuts. So if he stays in office, that shit's not happening no matter what he says. And to be honest with you, Biden is the senator of Delaware. There's a reason why you didn't hear a lot of banks and a lot of Wall Street was very hush mouth about him getting in there, because Biden is a senator for the credit card companies. This idea that he's going to just start raising shit, bullshit. I call bullshit on that. I think he'll say that, and I think he may do something, but the reality is he'll probably end up getting, you got to make $1 million a year or some shit like that. If that. Biden is not fucking Bernie Sanders, and there's a reason why you haven't seen Bernie Sanders around. There's a reason why Elizabeth Warren has been quiet. So we'll see that if he tries it, but people want to act like that's a guarantee. I doubt it. Just like people said that about Obama, and that didn't happen like that. Even when they had the all levers of Congress. Then again, people don't pay attention to the Supreme Court. That is a lifetime appointment. That is a multi-president appointment. The only dude that's probably gonna kick the can next is probably gonna be I forget the dude's name, black dude, and he doesn't look effed up like that. So a lot of folks, and again, I'm just giving perspective. I'm not telling people what to think, how to feel, because the election is just now going on. So I understand people take a week or 2 weeks. But people are not gonna give. There's not gonna be a honey. It's gonna be a honeymoon in the mainstream media, but and it's gonna be a honeymoon where there's perception. But this economy ain't changing. Fentanyl. LAR said it. Like they passing these laws. You start seeing Washington where these white folks can do drugs. I know as black people we think that's fucked up, and I'm gonna be fucked up. And Biden, people gonna be in Biden's ass about doing some shit that he promised. But the truth is, you let these white people do drugs, they gonna die out. A lot of them. And I'm not saying I want that to happen, but it just is what it is. If they're not gonna put them in jail, that doesn't mean that they get to do drugs. What that's gonna do to the population is gonna be crazy. They're gonna need to keep the population from getting angry. So the reality of the situation is, a lot of these motherfuckers is extra giddy. Just give it a second. Just give it a second. A lot of these chicks that want to all of a sudden grow a big dick and some nuts. I love it. Because I want y'all to tell black men how you feel. Because that makes it so hard on the Negroes that always want to play the purple pill game to do that. You make my life easier. You make Nameless's life easier. You make Ronald, Neo, and Green Gorilla's life so much easier. Because people keep saying, well, why can't we get along? Why can't we unite? But you never hear these niggas, you never hear any of them motherfuckers that talk about the unite game say that when you hear a bitch saying the crazy shit she says, one of these politicians. I'm glad they think they in Master's house. Because Trump basically agitated shit, which I have value, and what you're gonna see is folks are gonna get a little bit too comfortable. And they're gonna start really showing you who they are. And what do we do from that? Well, hey, that is what it is. Now, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm telling you right now, chaos is good. Because chaos is where money is made. People see Bitcoin going up. People have never been more looking for the alternative way of making money because they are forced to learn skills that they would never thought they'll learn. Live streaming is not a weird thing. Video calling is not a weird thing. Technology has never been cheaper. A lot of technology is 3-4 years old. It definitely works, is there. The tools of the trade to do the things that I do has never been less expensive. Brand new. Let a fucking alone getting it from the pawn shop. Now, I don't want everything to completely bottom out, and I want things to improve, but I'm under no illusion as to what's going on. Now, I'm not on what some people are on, where they on that, where the world's gonna collapse, I need land, and all. I'm like, okay, yeah, y'all can do all that. Well, I need land because it's about to be the Book of Eli. The Book of Eli talk, the Walking Dead talk, no, I'm not on that. Because a lot of that comes from people being upset about the outcome, and whether they want to admit that or not, that's really where that's coming from. You've been under a Democrat before, but it'll be okay. You'll be all right. And a lot of that is deflated egos, and I said that could happen. And I thought Trump was going to win. I want to be very clear about that. But then again, when you think about it, high turnout never bodes well for Republicans. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't really personally believe that the election was quote unquote stolen. I think that's some shit that if people want to believe that, go ahead. I'm not going to argue with you about that because that's an emotional argument. And I'm not trying to take away from people that believe that because there's people I respect that believe that. I'm just saying there's no logic that I'm going to unconvince you of that. The only thing I will present is there is no fucking way Mitchell McConnell would allow the Democrats to steal an election. Especially when his ass is on the line when it comes to his ability to have power. This is coming from a dude that told Obama to not pick another Supreme Court pick until the election, and he said, "Fuck." He said, "I'm doing it because fuck you. You an idiot. Darwinism, motherfucker. You believed it. Nobody told you to believe it. I never told you I wouldn't do it. I just told you you shouldn't do it." That's the type of dude you dealing with. Very ruthless politician. So no. And I do not believe that. And I think, I don't believe that. But it is what it is. Who knows? Maybe Mitch McConnell made a devil's bargain to get Trump out of there. I don't know. Maybe he saved himself. I wouldn't believe. I wouldn't believe that. That's not the most likeliest thing, but it's possible. Folks are talking about stealing elections because now all of a sudden that's a thing. I'm hearing people say, "Oh, well, the Democrats are repressing the black male vote." No, you niggas chose to support your women and as a group, just like they did now. They didn't. It's very hard for them to suppress certain votes. You can't, especially when 80% of people are voting one way. 80%, and by the way, white women have, if you look at type in exit polls and for U.S. election, and you'll find white women 33% of the voting chart, and they have a bigger chart than Latin men, Latin women, black men, and black women combined, and even half of other races. But people are worried about what black men do. Black men are only 5% of the population. Black men can't really affect the presidency like that, unless other groups are already not doing it. The truth is, if Trump would have lost 2 points of white women, it would look a lot worse than what it is. So shit don't change. I know it's probably stimulus packages coming in spring of next year. We'll see. Hopefully, if McConnell keeps his position and not become an asshole, they'll get one quicker. And this is gonna be great for me because you got tax time. These corporations want to sell shit, so they're gonna keep deals going. There's deals to be had. You got tax time coming. Then you may have a stimulus. If they get the shit done right, you may have a huge tax stimulus for the beginning of the year, because then people won't be getting shit that the stimulus they should have gotten a year in a tax credit. Then people are gonna be getting the stimulus. That might happen. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm putting myself in position. These next 2 months, I am putting myself in position to be able to absorb that money. If I told you all what I plan on doing, some of you all wouldn't believe it. So it's better for me to show you after it happens, and then turn around and then come back and say, okay, what do you want to do now? Appreciate Sun is a hot rock. Either way, black men should now more than ever put themselves in a position where we don't need politicians, but politicians need us. Absolutely. And the truth is, black men have never need to see the benefit of black men is black men have nothing to lose. Black men have nothing to lose, and we have it for a long time. Yeah, I don't see the super chat. Oh, okay, appreciate it. Okay, you gave me some pounds. All right, appreciate that. Black men have had nothing for lose for a long time, and it's kind of like an elephant with a chair, but it's not bolted down. It's not bolted down. So you're seeing some dudes, and I know a lot of these dudes that are upset Trump won. These are men. So what's gonna happen is they're gonna go through their stages of grief, and then anger is gonna take over. And what's gonna happen too is, number one, there's a lot of views to be had about when you're on the opposite side. But number two, a lot of as these women start talking shit, it's gonna be great for the sphere. And I think a lot of it's gonna be great because people are dealing with real stuff, and that stuff does not change. It doesn't matter what they put on the storefront. It's too much shit out here right now. And they're gonna see the Biden is good because of Biden's age. This be different if Biden was maybe 20 years younger, but maybe 15. But Biden, you can tell he's on his way out. As far as Kamala getting in there, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But that I'm gonna table that. But real talk, Biden, you're going to see that for the most part, the legislator is going to be running the government. The executive branch is going to be kind of like, this is going to be the substitute teacher presidency. And Trump has definitely terraformed the population to believe that. Because what Democrats are going to be like is liberals are going to say, yeah, I know we don't have a mandate, but you just need to go with it. And Republican, you know, a lot of these people, these Trumpers will be like, no, to hell with that. I'm calling everything out. It's going to be amplified. So my shit is good, and and people forget in downturns that's usually where the most money can get made if you're properly positioned. This is not me about to tell y'all to email me or nothing like that. And like I said, but this is I was prepared for both of these outcomes. And like I said, it'd be a little bit different if the Supreme Court didn't flip. Well, you noticed that I started changing my rhetoric once that flipped, because to me that was the most important piece. So anyway, let me like I said, I didn't want to make this an hour, so let me jump in with you all. I know some of you all are hungry to express yourselves. I really didn't want to make this a panel because, like I said, I got other shit to do. What's up, Pharaoh? Yeah, Pharaoh, I gotta email you. Aaron B. I mean, BGS just got a video talking about what a mess. I'm definitely gonna want to see that. Jim Red Van Jones was crying. That's why his white wife left him. Van Jones is disappointing. Van Jones is what you get when you're dependent on the gynocracy. That's what you get. Every black man, you gotta look at this. And I'm gonna tell you something. Some people will try to accuse me of flip-flopping, or I don't 100% commit to stuff. It's not about that. What it is you gotta, as a black man, you have to navigate through this world like a double agent. You just have to. That's why I always like spy movies and stuff. And a lot of times black men want to express themselves, but you got to understand the world. It's like the Matrix. When you go in the Matrix, you have to understand what that is. Whether it's the black community, whether you're dealing with white people, you got to know what that is. You got to know how to get what you need to get out of them. And it's not about manipulation. It's about understanding who they are, where they are, and dealing with them where they are. That's all it is, you know. I refuse to believe Joe got more votes than Obama. Well, Clement Vickers, Joe got more votes than Obama because it was a bigger turnout. Because of COVID, I mean, that's mathematical. All you got to do is go and count don't even look at the votes. Look at how much votes it was for McCain and Obama combined, and compare that to Trump and Obama and McCain. I mean, Trump and Biden. It makes absolute sense more people voted because it was COVID. I don't understand why people don't get that. I mean, do you understand how hard it is? You got to remember, do you really believe, y'all, this is one thing you all are acting, who you think got bigger nuts out of the two parties? You think it's the Republicans or you think it's the Democrats? Comment that below, because I want to know. You niggas act like the Republicans will let the Democrats bitch them up. The Republicans just now shoved a Supreme Court pick down the Democrats' fucking throats. And what did the Democrats do? They talked some shit, but they ate that shit. The fuck y'all talking about? That's how I know a lot of you. And the thing is, politics is something I discuss politics a lot off of the political season. I talk about politics kind of like how tactically, like I talk about basketball. So, I mean, a lot of y'all are just coming to this shit. I know I'm light-skinned as hell, right? A lot of y'all are just coming to this shit, like with a presidency. But y'all got to remember, like, I talk about this shit all the time. So this ain't just some shit that I'm coming to, and I'm in my feelings about. It's like a basketball game or playoffs. And am I right all the time? No, but the way I forecast shit is more right than it is not. Shout out to DC. But DC didn't think he'd win like this. It did, Jim Rat, and I don't like either of them. Exactly, T3, mail-in voting. And I don't think people expected people to do as much mail-in voting as they did. Because, see, going forward, were to do, see, looking in hindsight, they should have really been, they weren't, I'm gonna tell you something, they weren't prepared for how many votes came in later after the election. Now what they say is they've separated all the ballots from after election day that came in that they had to count. Because they did have in the laws that those things would be counted. Now people are gonna say, well, what happened to the last night thing? You know, hey, I don't know. But I know the Republicans in local, federal, fuck what the YouTube people are saying. I'm talking about, like, you know, your Brandon Tate, Anthony Brian Logan's. They want to get views. I know the Republicans at the local, state, and federal level are not gonna let fucking Democrats steal an election for them. These are the same motherfuckers that went to the Supreme Court and basically had, when they had Jeb Bush was the brother of George W. Bush, and they got that shit. And people got over that shit too. And I'm gonna tell you, that shit was a hell of a lot closer. And by the way, to be fair, when Trump got in, if you can look back at what the fuck I said ain't no rush to help him win. Shut the fuck up saying that. I said that. Because I'm not playing favorites. I call everything out. The reason why you all hear me talk more shit about the Democrats is because black people have this thing that they trust them too much. It's easy to convince black people, Republicans, on some bullshit, but they don't. But they choose to accept the policy of benign neglect and shit like that. And Tarina Sheetis called that shit out. That's why you hear me focus on that, because that's where the gap is. That's not to let the Republicans off the hook. But that just is what it is. Black people already don't trust them. Biden will have to have all levers of Congress. And the reality of the situation is, again, this is where you look at Trump's America. If Biden does all that shit, you know, if Biden does amnesty and all that, with as much as people are hurting right now, do you understand how much of a how bad that would look? Now, the DACA people don't matter, because that's like 600,000 people. So that's not the same thing as amnesty. But I still don't even want that to go down. What's up, Wayman Brown? Sisters hoping Biden croaks so Kamala can run wearing bonnets in the White. I mean, sisters are stupid that believe that. First of all, Kamala Harris is an elitist. Kamala Harris is not, 80% of black women Kamala Harris does not identify with. If you're not a sorority chick or an AKA chick or a bourgeoisie chick, she gives no fucks about you. And black women are going to learn that. And some black women do already recognize that. So a lot of chicks are going to be looking goofy. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of chicks, especially, we'll see though. We'll see about that. But I think some interesting things can come. BLS holding, more transformer training coming for U.S. military and government workers. I don't know. We'll see. Frankie Henez, I don't really care about election, but I have to admit that there was a fucker going to... I mean, how many previous elections have you seen? I go back all the way. My first election I voted for was Kerry v. Bush. But I remember the Bush v. Gore. Rocket King, I appreciate y'all super chats. I'm going to get to him in a second. Rocket King, take a look at yourself. Make the change, Michael Jackson. Yep. Pharaoh, no cleanup man zone. And that's another thing, man. These chicks running their fucking mouth. I ain't even talking about black women as a populace. I'm talking about like a lot of these like Congress women and shit. All that's gonna do is make black men look fucking stupid for putting them in office. And black men have been putting women in office for a minute, way before this Biden shit. So these niggas are gonna be looking stupid. Seeing Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, and how people turn and they want to act like they don't know. I love it. Because it makes my job easier. That shit, because now you exhibit A, B, C, D. These are prominent people. They're very comfortable. Tiger, I would say the black manosphere job before is to watch, report, and be patient. Your I told you so moment is coming. Yeah, but even still, the black manosphere's job is to expand via our market, which is heterosexual black men. That's our job. And then the other stuff you said is also our job. But that's the background stuff I said first. Excalibur, I don't think folks like Biden, they just like, absolutely. Wayman Brown, Black people don't care anything but international politics unless it stirs up fear, getting bombed. Absolutely, Wayman. And they should, because there's a lot of diaspora politics that black people should be aware of, but whatever. Rocket King, even celebrations taking place right now aren't even that energized. It's like a run. Yeah, so, I mean, it is what it is, because I think the win that people are looking for, they didn't get. People were looking for something to be overwhelming, and I think a lot of them, on both sides, the reality is starting to set in. There is no can we all come together bullshit. Motherfuckers are gonna have to let some shit go. All these hipster white people in my neighborhood are blasting Nipsey Hussle's fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, I mean, yeah, why they gentrify shit. Delaware is a credit card scam. Absolutely, it's Switzerland, United States. What's up, son? It's Hurrah. Biden's face looks pasted together like these days a number. Yeah. He already sacrificed black men in the 90s. Black women, Europe. He said, yep, that's Tiger. That's a good point. And I'm going to tell you, Kamala's the perfect person to be in there, too. Kamala is the perfect person to be in there. Because what's going to happen is a lot of these women is looking for help are not going to get it. And they gonna start selling pussy like they already doing. And that's another thing I'm gonna start. I should start calling that out. All this, third world pussy, you going there because they desperate. Okay, what about you first world bitches? Because at least you all have first world infrastructure. You all have so many more advantages than those females have. I've gone in other countries and got women and they've got doctorate, they've got master's degrees, and they make pennies. There's people I know based on some of the jobs, the call center work that I've done, and they got legit jobs. And if they were making the same kind of money, if y'all were making the same kind of money they were making, y'all be selling pussy on the side. You already see it. Some of these sisters supported Trump. Some of these sisters switched to the right, and we were silenced. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Stop crying, Jessica. It was enough to take note, but the truth is, who knows whose motivation that is of doing that? Nobody was silent. Y'all, people just look. The problem is people are looking for people to validate what you think. And to me, I really could care less. I don't need to express what I think necessarily. I don't. Because at the end of the day, that's a personal decision for me. I don't need to convince nobody of shit. People want to do what they do, and then they look for getting bailed out. It is what it is. Yep, they do have biological black women's face of the transgender movement, SMH. And Jessica, one thing you should be doing is you should be really calling out women like Chrissy and all these other women that they want to keep the focus on black men when the society basically makes black women take all these L's on the backs of other women. That's not black men doing that. That's the very white zaddies that they want to back up. Yeah, I've always wondered that too. Why so many female advocates got it, Jessica? That's a good question. Truth is, the 55 plus indoctrinated black Democrat has something. Well, you know what? They're getting older and older and older. Remember, the next, I'm 34. I'll be 38. The next election cycle. So as these zillennials take over, and yeah, so it's good. Biden is y'all's king. To have a civil war, you must have two sides agreeing on war, two GRS servers. It's not gonna be a civil war. So many systems with underground churches where still got silences that don't have any power. Okay, so you said okay, that's not okay. So Jessica, first of all, yes, you're right. Sisters don't have any power in a greater society, but having power in a greater society and being a gynocracy is two different things. The gynocracy is reflected upon what the dynamics in the black community is. So stop trying to make that mean two different things. The second of all, black women, it wasn't that many black women that were Trump supporters. 90% of black women, and a very loud 90%, supported Biden and always supported the Democratic Party. So stop that shit. Stop trying to make false equivalencies. I get tired of you and your disingenuous talk, like for real. You get real disingenuous, and you think you're gonna come to a men's space with that disingenuous bullshit. You don't have to agree, but you gotta stop being disingenuous, like for real. Well, I mean, the thing about it is, my point is, Republicans are not going to allow the Democrats to steal an election. Black women, okay, let's be clear here. Black women define family as them and their kids. They are not in favor of being wives. And you can see that in the 80% divorce rate that black women activate. Well, he was a bad dude. Okay, in the dudes you choose. You can't have that both ways. Like, I don't even know why you even in here trying to push that shit. I voted for Biden, but I ain't with all that crying Van Joseph doing. Boo! Man Code, you lose your wrench for that. No, I'm playing Man Code. And that's okay. And you know, I respect the fact you said that. Because everybody ain't a Trump supporter. I mean, Glenn Cameron hates Trump. And Glenn Cameron is more capitalist than anybody in the manosphere, period. And he's been homeless. So you can't tell Glenn Cameron shit when it comes on fucking money. Outside of what? Ike? And I bet they probably on par. It's none of y'all. So everybody, that's the thing. There's a lot of black people that are business minded was not necessarily for Trump, necessarily. The 10-4 hats are given by the 18 months before he gets. I don't know. Hey, that's a good. That might be a good prediction. Biden's winning going to embolden a lot of black women express. Yep, it is. It is. And the thing you got to keep in mind is 80% of black men still voted for Biden. So the point is, all that's going to do is help. And again, I'm not trying to tell people how to feel, get over their feelings at all. Take your time, do what you got to do. But the reality is, man, for what we trying to do, it's bright. Ha, Silent, what's up? Jim Rant. Exactly. Black folks acted like they want automation cuts and still. Yeah, man, that shit was taking place no matter what. Edward, most white people didn't vote for Obama. A lot of whites voted for Biden. Ease, exact. Yeah, you know what? That's true, Silent. And I never said that because then motherfuckers start being like, oh, well, you see, I told you a Democrat. I live in a state where the Republicans are constantly gerrymandering districts. They're constantly gerrymandering districts fucking with our vote. In this state alone, they do that like a hell of a lot to the point where it's national news. So this idea, my point is not saying for Republicans to get on it. My point is to say stop and don't make it like the Democrats are the party of control of votes. Democrats control shit by shaming your ass and psychological manipulation. That's not the same as straight up gerrymandering shit. That's not the same thing. And I think people are creating false equivalencies when there's not there. Just because you're shamed for not voting for them, that's not them forcing you to do anything. That's just them, pulling your shoulder. And that's on you to do, to be a man, do the fuck you need to do. That's what Dennis Sperling said. Hold on, let me get these super chats in because y'all, it's been a minute. So, son doesn't know how Rob Biden went. I heard that. Pharaoh, exactly. Black folks acting like they want automation. Yep. Double time. What's good, Ed? What do you think of independent party? Jade Simmons, she campaigned for men's rights and bettering Black America. Jane Simmons wasn't on my election. I ended up voting for the Constitution candidate, so I didn't vote for either. But North Carolina went for Biden. North Carolina went for Biden. It looks like Tillis is gonna stay in there, which is a big reason. A big reason why, because they expected to flip Tillis. So Tillis winning is a big reason why if McConnell keeps the Senate, he keeps it. So you motherfuckers are welcome. First of all, Jessica, woman status is not. Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna ignore Jessica because she's just gonna piss me off. That's not fair to everybody else that, people just start saying stupid shit and draw my attention by me. B does that a lot. And I gotta stop letting people do that because that's not fair to the rest of y'all. That makes these videos go a lot longer too. About all them Florida votes just fell off the back of yeah. I mean, but they gonna forget that. Them niggas, that don't count. That don't count. People got over that shit, especially when people were coming off of a Clinton presidency. That people felt like, the shit was in a much better place. Yeah, you right. But see, all them Republican niggas, that's how they caping. They capping. Because they conveniently forget that, Silent. You absolutely right. And I don't even bring that up because, hey, I want to let them get their shit out. So yeah, and I didn't realize. So hold on. So Ranger Run, I got to check that. I didn't because I wasn't looking at that. I was just looking at their control. If they lost House, and that's another thing too. You can't the ballots. Y'all act like there's a separate ballot for Donald Trump. I need somebody to explain to me if the Democrats lost went from 229 to 206. I need y'all to explain to me how the Democrats lost seats. The Senate is going to may stay Republican, but somehow Donald Trump got out. Somehow, like the election was stolen. You can't do that. It's very, come on, man. What's up, King Sigma? Exactly, King Sigma. But you know, people want to be a name. Like this is a very emotional election. Exactly, King Sigma. I don't blame you for working on your other shit and getting away from the spirit for a while. I'm gonna show that. Jessica, if I keep hearing you say black women have no power, when you know good goddamn well we're talking about the power they're able to enforce in the community, I'm gonna block your ass because you're not gonna use my platform to come. You know what? You need to create a fucking channel and express yourself. But you're not gonna use my platform to play that bullshit about black women don't have no power because you want to talk about 5% of black women is for Trump. You know, didn't get allowed to talk. You better shut the fuck up with that. Otherwise, y'all see another comment on that, I'm gonna time your ass out. Cause I don't, you wanna. All right, what the fuck? Jessica think I'm fucking playing. They not gonna do shit. They gonna, first of all, Black Lives Matter is they're gonna go into a different mode. Their mode is gonna be they're gonna go into sleeper mode. So you're not number one, man. Please, they not gonna do the same shit they've been doing. I'll say that. Yeah, just like, and this is what a lot of sisters are gonna do. What they're gonna do is they're gonna try to come back and rewrite history like we're fucking stupid. And I'm like, hey, look, y'all have a right to try to sell that, and some goofy ass niggas are gonna buy it. But the problem, Jessica, is honestly you need an older dude because you dealing with millennials that don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck regardless. I don't blame you. You have a right to vote. Like, man, Cole, you have a right to vote for who you want to vote for. I mean, I understand, like, when I say vote for the gynocracy, my shit is to keep you informed. Now, what you choose to vote for, that's on you. That's on you. And motherfuckers be, oh, you voted for gynocracy, blah, blah. I mean, it is what it is. Vote's the thing that controls the system. I'm on my phone. And no, I'm not dropping a link, Jessica, because you ain't really got nothing to say. We allowed you to talk, across multiple panels, and all you do is you basically you talking to you is not like talking to a person. Talking to you is like talking to a press secretary. You're not having a real conversation. You're just advocating for bullshit, and you don't have a conversation in good faith. So talking to you is actually a time wasting activity. This is why you don't see a lot of the same females come up over and over again because we'll hear you out. But once we identify that dealing with you as a time wasting activity, for the most part, dudes are not gonna keep on having you up to express yourself. You got, it's very clear where you stand, and a lot of this stuff is you just campaigning for your position and why you feel like you can come over here and do that shit. I appreciate y'all super chats, man, for real. A lot of people did bet the farm on Trump. You absolutely right, Silent. Hey, say what you want to about Danielle and Concrete. They got men. What about the rest of these chicks? All right, Jessica, I warned you. I see you only got one gear, so you're gonna have to deal with that the way I had to deal with that. You only got one gear. I mean, you talk about propaganda and you putting out propaganda. You coming on my channel when I talk about the gynocracy and you telling me the gynoc oh there is no power, but you don't want to but you just want to think saying it. You think this like you only got one gear, so we're gonna deal with how we deal with people that only have one gear. I don't know these rappers that be getting killed. What's up, Iron Boy? Appreciate it. Half the damn time. I'll tell you this, Sigma. Though I think Trump is other pressures other than the political process that's gonna tell Trump. Because I think people, look, man, you got out. It's time to go. I think Trump's gonna get pressure. I'm gonna tell you what they probably gonna do. What they probably gonna do is tell Trump, look, we're not gonna look into any of your shit. Um, and the truth is, here's the truth. Here is the honest to God truth. The honest to God truth is, even though Trump is older, what you all don't understand, just because he isn't the president doesn't mean jack shit. Let's say Trump loses and it is dead and gone. Trump is the type of dude that Trump is not Bush. Trump craves the fame. Trump may shut up for a year or two, but once it starts to become like election time, Trump will get off on having to being able to be a kingmaker. Is gonna do what Sarah Palin could have did, and he's gonna. These Republicans are not done. Trump is not done with these Republicans. The ghost of Trump is gonna live on. Man, Daniel. Honestly, dude, that's for them young folks. I don't know who Vaughn is. I've seen a little bit of it. The only reason I would talk about some shit like that is because I knew it would get views. And this channel is gonna go by way of having a more entertainment based focus, kind of like a red pill entertainment thing. That way I can bring in more. That's where this channel's going. And then at the same time, I can power this channel, and then I can feed it into my other channel. Trump's not running again. He be too old. Okay, well, NBA fan. Well, you would know, NBA fan. You're younger, so I mean that's gonna be more your demographic than mine. Trump was a Democrat. So anyway, y'all, I appreciate the super chats once again. Much appreciate y'all. Keep this stuff spinning. Either way, shout out to Son is the Hot Rod. Either way, black men should now more than ever put themselves in a position where we don't need politicians, but politicians need us. Yes, I think Ice Cube did a lot, and I think what you're gonna find is niggas. This is how you gonna know black people are stupid. Let's say Ice Cube starts pushing his plan. What you're gonna find is he's gonna get ignored because I expect him to do that, and then you're gonna find black people actually say, well, you know, they're gonna start talking about Ice Cube. They're gonna start shaming Ice Cube. All of a sudden, they're gonna have an issue with the Players Club. All of a sudden, they're gonna start saying they're gonna start trying to tear his character down based on movies and projects he's made. And then and then black people are gonna say, well, he's just a rapper. Then they're gonna black people are actually gonna engage, probably mainly be black women and the gynocrat dudes. They're gonna engage in character assassination of him in order to justify the Democrats not listening to him. Watch, it's way more than just voting for Biden. You're really, and I'm gonna tell you something. If folks are as stupid as I think they are, you're gonna really see the quote unquote gender war to a lot of people is gonna just be happening because you're gonna see that shit in open war. You're gonna see that shit in the mainstream play out. As because social media is a lot bigger than it was, and it's getting bigger, it's getting more video. With this Fox Soul shit, oh man, it's watch. I'm telling you, man. And I'm like, you know, Warren Buffett. I'm looking at opportunities. I'm not looking at you know, it is what it is, man. So anyway, I appreciate y'all. Just wanted to give you all a little hour update. What's happening, Fizz? Okay, well, 7 seats isn't that bad. He was changed, dude, man. He was changing. So anyway, y'all, it's been great. So with that being said, make sure y'all check out my community tab for Classic Men Mag, and make sure y'all pop that up. I'll pop up the links. I'll share that in a moment. Make sure, I'm gonna tell you, I may reach out to some of y'all on my Facebook because I'm gonna start growing my Facebook page, my Edward Anderson Facebook page. I'm at about 650. I want to get that into the couple of thousands. So I'm gonna start sharing that a lot more. I'm gonna start sharing a lot more on my social media because I want to spread this shit out. I want to take advantage of the platform we have, give y'all different ways of engaging with me. I'll probably restart my Twitter stuff too. Have some fun with that. And then yeah, man, we're gonna make it hot. You know, I got some ventures that I'm working on for real. And I'll keep y'all apprised as to that. One of the things I'm really excited about is gives me an opportunity to work with some people I've been wanting to work with for a while. And this is a group that actually has a lot of black men in it. A lot of black men I definitely respect to get things done. So that's something that you'll see me talk about in you know, next couple of months, kind of in the passive. Oh, I'm telling you right now, Nancy Pelosi, the only caveat was that Amy Barrett thing. But Nancy Pelosi is going to be running this white. And Nancy Pelosi is going to be the most powerful person. What you all don't understand, Nancy Pelosi is Darth Sidious. Kamala is Vader. Nancy pulled her up from Willie Brown. I'm telling you. I'm telling y'all. Like, Kamala is a direct person in that White House. And then you got 2 senators in there like that. So and Kamala is a part of that, Patty Murray and that Senate brigade. So a lot of them, Mitch Schumer, nigga, this shit gonna be crazy. But whatever. What's up, Super Triz? Hey, Super Triz, I'm gonna need that password to that Manosphere thing again. I know, I ain't shit. And Sigma, email me at Edward Anderson 300k at Gmail. I'm gonna find your email you because I want to chop it up, see what you're doing on the internet marketing stuff. Need to top up with you and Jesse Beal. So anyway, with that being said, appreciate y'all. This is Edward signing off. Peace.